Hello, Nimbin.
Yeah, I should probably introduce you guys. Matt and Abe are running a tour business in Colorado, plus a few other very important things as well, part of that business. And I guess they're here to share with us some of the positives and negatives of the recreational cannabis scene there, and to fill us in on what we may look forward to in the future.
That's right. We come with good news from Colorado. Legalized cannabis is a success, for sure. Medical cannabis is a success in Colorado as well. We're going to focus on recreational marijuana today. We're going to do an hour tomorrow with medicine making. Also, we do workshops with our company. So today's recreational, tomorrow's medical, two very relevant subjects. We have a company called High Country Cannabis Tours. Talking about regulations, guess how many regulations we have? It's a beautiful thing. We offer tours, obviously. One tour that we offer is an elected official tour, which we dedicate our time. If any elected official anywhere around the world wants to come in and learn about recreational legalized cannabis, we dedicate our time to educate them. We feel that education is definitely the way to go in this. We have a walking tour in downtown Denver, and we also have a limousine luxury tour as well, so it gets fun, let me tell you. We do workshops as well. We do cooking with cannabis. We teach people how to infuse butter. And then, we teach them the fundamental skills of these medicine making techniques. Therefore, they can take them back, and just as any artist does, they can kind of create their own style with it and, have a blast with it, really. These techniques are super simple, super safe. You can do it in a residential home, no problem. We offer a salve and tincture workshop as well, hash oil processing with food grade solvents, and an e-juice. So you can walk down the street and no one will know you're puffing down. You just throw a little bit of e-juice in your vaporizer and you're good to go. I just got over to Europe that way. Just enjoying myself. So that's kind of the scenario that we found ourselves in. We were medical caregivers before we jumped into the recreational side of things. Recreational started in 2014, so we're only, about 15, 16 months into this. Have we figured it all out yet? No. Are we working on it? Yes. I think that Colorado is doing a pretty good job at this point. So Matt has a bunch of statistics here for you guys, and this is the beautiful thing about this, is that we have a year under our belt in Colorado, and the statistics that we're going to talk about today are very real. No one can argue these statistics. They came from the state, and they're very inspiring. So as we talk to other policymakers all over the world, I think that we have a very valid case. So we're going to share some of these statistics with you today. Yeah?
I'll take you through a little history of our struggle for legal cannabis in Colorado. In November 2000, we passed an amendment legalizing medical cannabis, 53% of the electorate voting in favor. And over the course of the next 8 years, that's how long it took for us to finally start seeing dispensaries pop up in Colorado. So that was pretty fun going into this dispensaries for the first time. And actually, I worked for a mortgage company. The mortgage company went bust in the credit crisis of 2008, and the same building opened up as our local dispensary a year later. So that's where we were buying all our herb. In 2012, we finally were the first state to legalize recreational cannabis. And that was a presidential election, and we had the biggest turnout I think we've had, and that was at 68.55%. So not a huge turnout, and definitely there's a margin of victory there either way, but we passed it 55%. And as soon as we passed it, we allowed local municipalities and counties to outlaw it. And Colorado's a very purple state. There's enclaves of liberal areas and a lot of rural conservative areas. And these rural conservative areas were not happy about having a black president. I really kind of thought America was over a lot of its past, but boy, it got really racist there, especially when Barack Obama won his second term. Right along, shortly after that election, local municipalities started outlawing it, and to the point where about 75% of Colorado, more or less, you cannot get recreational herb. It's been outlawed there.
And medicinal.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, 2010, they started closing down a lot of medicinal shops. So there were medicinal dispensaries all throughout the state, and they were told to close their doors. And sorry, Charlie, they were done. So that means that because of that local veto option, Colorado's missing out on a lot of its tax revenue. As a matter of fact, we fell way short of the expectations, not just because of that, but also because we tax it at 28% altogether. So that's something I'll get back to, but I want to encourage y'all, as you're pushing for the legalization in Australia, don't try to overtax it, because guess what? We already have a black market that functions, and everyone will go right back to that black market. Now, it is an expression of an exercise of your freedom to actually go into the dispensaries. And a lot of our tour business is based on this. People are coming from all corners of the world to exercise their right, and they're loving it. They love to go into a dispensary and spend money, even if it is more money than they would spend. But, you know, the high tax rate combined with the local moratoriums on access means that we still have a very much a thriving black market. And we cleared about 70 million in between recreational and medical herb in taxes, but it was quite short of what they expected. So that's just something to keep in mind. The last case I'm going to talk about with our legalization struggle is in April 2013, the Colorado Court of Appeals held in a case that since marijuana remains against federal law, employers can use that standard rather than state law as a rationale for banning off-the-job worker use, even when it's a medical thing.